So here's how I made $40,000 in an airport just by noticing someone's watch. So in this episode, I'm going to teach you a little hack that has allowed me to not only create amazing contacts, but it allowed me to do a $40,000 sale from meeting someone in an airport just by noticing their watch. And I think that this is something that everybody can use every day, especially if you want to excel in life. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Michael Mojo. I'm the founder and owner of Mojo Human Performance Institute. We focus on mindset, business, and lifestyle hacking for driven mofos. And the reason why I do these episodes is because most people waste their life, and I just don't want you to be one of them. So let's talk about it. I'm on national tour. I'm on a plane. I was sitting in business class because what had happened was my team had booked the wrong tickets. And I don't know what the hell happened, but my team were at the back of the plane, or they were sitting in the middle of the plane somewhere. When we got to the counter, they'd fucked up all of our tickets or something. The only spaces that were left were in business class. So I ended up getting a business class ticket. The team was sitting down the back. And so I'm sitting in business class. There was myself, a guy sitting in front of me with another guy, and then I think there were a couple of people on our left-hand side. Anyway, the plane takes off and everything's cool and I'm doing work. Anyway, I see this guy sitting in front of me and he leans back and he's got this nice Rolex on. And I just noticed it. Something that I've noticed over the years is that noticing people is really important. And if you want to build great contacts and you want to meet people and you want to build, I guess, great connections, a really good thing to do is to notice other people and notice what's important to them. And you do it through two ways. There's the visual sense and then there's listening. Normally I pick up on people's values really, really quickly just by listening or looking at them. So for instance, I noticed that this guy with the Rolex probably has a high value on wealth creation or a high value on business, or there's got to be something there, a reason why he would express who he is as a person through a really expensive and nice watch. Now, this isn't always the case, but normally I know if there is a person and they look great, then they'll normally have a high value on physical appearance or physical beauty. I see a lot of men and women around who spend a lot of time with a nice haircut and they look after themselves and they wear really nice clothes. So I know that straight away physical appearance is important to them. I know that some people wear, let's say, a pair of Jordan shoes or a pair of Louis Vuitton shoes. Now, when you notice those things, you can really go up and create good rapport with someone really, really quickly. And rapport is, I think, probably the first step of great communication. You want to be able to build rapport really, really quickly. Coming back to this, and I noticed this guy's watching a movie and he leans back and he's got this nice Rolex and I notice it. Anyway, I thought, I wonder what he does because I'm inquisitive about people. So he's flying in business class. He's got a Rolex on, this nice gold Rolex as well. You know, at the time I was probably thinking it's maybe worth $35,000. I know the price has inflated quite dramatically lately. This is a couple of years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago. I thought, I wonder what he does. So anyway, the plane lands and as we get off, he stands up and goes to grab out his bag and I said, nice Rolex. Now he had his headphones in, he took them out and I said, oh, nice Rolex. And he looks at me and he goes, oh, thanks. And then he looks away really, really quickly. I know that what happens is that when you start conversation with most people are in their own world, they're thinking about their own thing. And so even though they'll acknowledge you, they sort of acknowledge you and then turn back to what they were doing. Very rarely does someone stop and acknowledge you properly and then start a conversation. So straight away, I thought, I'm losing this contact. Like, I want to know about this person. I want to know about this guy. I want to find out what he does. I'm interested in this contact. Like, let's rock and roll and see what happens here. So I said, oh, how long have you had it for? And he sort of turns to me and he goes, sorry. And I said, oh, how long have you had the watch for? And anyways, he says, oh, I've had it for a few years and blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, where did you get it from? And we started talking. And anyway, as we start getting off the plane, he looks down and he noticed that I was wearing a pair of Louis Vuitton shoes. And he said, oh, nice shoes. And I said, oh, mate, watches, nice shoes, and cars are my weakness. And he looks at me and he goes, what car do you have? Now, back then I just had my Audi R8. And so I told him, he goes, oh, awesome. And I said, what car do you have? And he said, oh, I got a Lamborghini Huracan or Huracan or whatever you want to call them. I said, oh, mate, how long have you had it for? And anyway, we get talking. We're halfway down getting off the plane. And all of a sudden I get a team from my general manager at the time and also my head of sales. And they're calling me and I looked at the phone. I just hung up on them and put it back in my pocket. Straight away, the phone rings again and I just hang up on them. And so anyway, they called me multiple times and I keep talking to this guy. We're talking and he says, you know, what do you do? And I said, well, you know, my main thing is I do lifestyle and business hacking for driven mofos. And we get talking about events. At the time, I don't think I said, you know, the whole mindset and business hacking for driven mofos. I think I said something like I run events and personal development and I help business owners to enhance their mindset because I'm adapting what I'm communicating based on what I think about the person. So I know that we just help driven people achieve more. When I'm communicating with someone, if I'm talking to a mum, I don't say we do business and lifestyle hacking for driven mofos. What I'll say is we help people who want to achieve more in their life and they feel stuck. And I'll generally try to relate it back to the person I'm communicating with. And I say, you know, maybe they're wanting to get the best out of themselves, and maybe they're wanting to be able to help understand their kids better and be a better parent, because our tools still work for that person. It's just that I'm communicating in a specific way so that they can understand it based on their values and what's important to them. Now, if you're in business, you want to be adapting your communication style to the people that you're communicating with. If not, and you're just saying the same, I hear it at all the events like your elevator pitch, or you should be able to rehearse what you do. But when you do that, if you consistently do it in the same way, you might be isolating 3/4 of your market, only because that you're communicating with different people with different value sets. So anyway, I think I said something like I help business people, and then I started explaining about how most of them are stressed and how most business people are unclear about what they're doing. Most of them feel almost like a fraud because they don't know what the fuck they're doing every day, but at the same time, they've got to then lead a whole team. And so they're trying to figure it out as their business grows and all of these things. And anyway, he looks at me and he goes, do you know, funny enough you say that. I have just been on a trip where I went and climbed the Himalayas because there was a point where the business was so stressful. I didn't know what to do. I was stressed out. I was burnt out, and I just needed some time away in order to try and get clarity and to find myself again. And I said, interesting. Anyway, my team rock up and they go, where the fuck were you? We've been trying to get in contact with you. So I introduce them to this person. I say, this is my team, my general manager. And anyway, we go to leave, and I thought, I'm going to wait and see if he asks me for my phone number. And anyway, I grabbed my bag, and just as I'm about to walk off, I said, all right, nice to meet you. And anyway, he goes, oh, can I grab your number? And I said, yeah, sure. So I was setting it up in a way just to see if he would grab my number. If not, I would have asked for his. So we grabbed numbers, we exchanged numbers, and within a week, I'm in contact with him. I'm talking to him about his problems that he's going through, and if he felt like he got the results that he wanted from his trip in the Himalayas, and started telling him about how I could help him. And then all of a sudden, I signed him up to this $40,000 in coaching and blah, blah, blah. And then I had a client for a year. Now, that client then introduced me to a whole bunch of high net worth people in Queensland. And so that one conversation and noticing that one Rolex not only led me to a $40,000 sale in one-on-one coaching, but it also created a great friendship, and we're still friends. Also, it has allowed me to open up huge networks in another state. And I've probably made more than that. I've probably made, $80,000 or $90,000 just off of that one contact from sending other people to me for one-on-one coaching, other business owners, opening up opportunities. There's been so much that's come from that relationship. The point though that I'm trying to make is that really understanding and looking at other people and paying attention to others is so important if you want to create great contacts, if you want to build great networks, and also open up massive opportunities in business. And this is something that I don't see a lot of people do. I also remembered I got on a plane one day and I'm just sitting there and I got my headphones on, and this lady gets on and she was wearing this beautiful like blue florally dress. Now, I don't know much about dresses, but I just know that she was like a fucking peacock. She got on there in this blue bright dress and she looked really great. Like the dress looked awesome. I don't normally see people on planes wearing those like nice dresses and stuff. And so when she got on and I stood up so that she could get to her seat and I said hi, and she said hi back, and I said, wow, that's a beautiful dress. And anyway, she just lit up and we start this great conversation on the plane and so on. But it was just from noticing that one thing about the person. Now, whether you're noticing a person with their kids and you say, wow, your kids look great, or, you got to figure out what a person's value structures are and what's important to them just by looking at them. And you can do that really, really easily by noticing what they want to show. So a parent will show you their kids. A person who has a high value of wealth will be trying to show wealth. A business owner will look like a business owner because, not in all cases, by the way, but there are people out there who will express their business through their values because they might have a nice bag or something like that, like a nice leather bag or something like that with notepads and stuff. And when they get on a plane, they'll open up all their notepads or get out their computer or whatever. Like, you'll be able to notice things really, really quickly. Now, this isn't always the case, but I've just noticed that if you get really, really good at noticing people and really, really good at seeing what they're trying to express, and you notice that, you build really good connections really, really quickly, and you build really great rapport. And this is also a way that I've been able to create a lot of amazing contacts. Hence why I wanted to share it. So anyway, I hope that this helps Driven Mofos. I hope it helps you to think a little bit differently about the way you connect with people and the way you build your contacts. Please remember, if you haven't already done so, to subscribe, like, and share, as most people waste their life, and I just don't want you to be one of them. If you haven't gone and rated the podcast, please do so on both Spotify, iTunes, or any of the other platforms. If you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to subscribe and also hit that thumbs up or the like button. I would really, really appreciate it. And also, if you're on any of the Apple devices and you're listening to it on the podcasting app, if you can go in there and hit that 5-star review, if you think that it's worth 5 stars, if you think that it's worth 1, give it a 1. But please, the more reviews, the better. So if you can give it a rating and then also write a review, the more reviews, the better, because it shows more people out there that this is something that they might find value in. Anyway, Driven Mofos, remember to never underestimate the dream and keep living with mojo.